Those interactions, I think, are the ones that are most valuable to me because, as we all know as Christians, the material things of earth are fleeting, but the spiritual gain we can get out of an interaction like that can last for an eternity. Winter shelter season is exactly what the name implies. It's a shelter during the winter. This is like an initial touch point where Nashville's homeless can come and get out of the cold weather during the winter, and through our efforts, again, have a meal, safe place to sleep, and hear a gospel message at the same time.
Yeah, I've been able to go to the campus, during the winter months. It's really just about interacting with the guests that are there. And I think that's where sometimes it can feel intimidating. But you also sort of step back and you realize at some point, and I can talk to these people about the same thing I talk to anybody about.
My favorite thing here at Room in the Inn truly is our winter shelter program. It's the heartbeat of our organization, and in my perception, the heartbeat of Nashville. It's remarkable the way that myself, a person who, for all intended purposes, has not experienced stress or trauma throughout my life any more than the typical person, can sit down in communion with people who have had experiences that far exceed my abilities to understand, and we can sit down in communion and find common ground.
Well, the main need that we have to conduct this ministry would be overnight hosts. The overnight hosts are the ones that make this possible because ultimately it is a housing ministry, a sheltering ministry.
There is a legacy of service that Nashville First has with a Room in the Inn, and it's not hard to serve. I think as with anything, the hardest part is just saying yes and then committing to do it. We all have other options and things in front of us. It's a Sunday night. You can always come up with a reason not to go serve. But when you do, you realize how rewarding it is.
The greatest thing that Nashville First Baptist can do is to step outside of the walls and engage with the people who are passing by. And you do this through the winter shelter program by coming here and serving guests and inviting them in.
As we've had our discussions about the next generation of our church history, the two words I've heard most often are downtown and diverse. Well, the men we serve at our winter shelter season are both.
And you also have a really good mix of churches, including Nashville First, that are involved with Room in the Inn. It's not something that's specific to one congregation. You've got folks all around town contributing, figuring out a way to pitch in, probably a lot like what the body of Christ ought to look like.
So I would ask you to pray about what part of this ministry, whether it's meeting and greeting the guests, providing food, serving, or being an overnight host, that you could be a part of as we go through our next winter shelter season. We'd love to talk to everyone who would be a part of making this ministry happen.